Hi everyone, it's Darlene with Darlene's Crafty Crew, and we are going to do a very simple craft tonight. It's going to be taking a toilet paper tube and making a cuff bracelet for kids. Obviously a kid's craft. Cut a piece of your toilet paper tube, about an inch, inch and a half wide. And then you just cut a slit somewhere. So that's going to make the cuff bracelet. Then you're going to take some magazine pages, and I found a page that has some pretty red ribbon, and I thought that would be nice for Valentine's Day. You can use your paper cutter to make strips like this, or you can just cut by hand, and I'm just going to cut a few more strips by hand. Doesn't matter if they're straight, because you're just going to be wrapping it around, and it's a kid's craft, so we're certainly not aiming for perfection here. Let's see if that's enough. The only other thing you need is some white glue. Any kind of white glue will do. Trying to get that in the camera for you. Just, I always water down my glue a little bit to make it easier to come out of the bottle. So you're just going to start. Now you actually can do this either way. You can do the strips this way and tuck them under, or you can do them lengthwise. I'm just going to go ahead and do them lengthwise for this so that it doesn't take quite as long. But I think going in this direction actually makes a cooler bracelet. So you're just going to start by gluing. You might want to use a glue stick for this project because it would be a little bit less messy. And you want to have it sticking up enough so that you're going to have some that you can fold over to create a clean edge. So about half the width of the piece of paper for the edges. Yeah. And you can always use a paintbrush if you want. Sometimes you have to just hold it in place for a little bit. And I'm not going to fold it over until that dries. I'm going to leave a little edge, a little tail, I should say. Now, is this piece going to be big enough? No, it's not. So I'm going to use another piece. And it doesn't take much glue. And like I said, I did have a paintbrush here. And it's okay if you get some on the piece that's there because we're going to actually coat it with glue when it's done, so it can get a nice dry, hard, I should say, sheen to it. And there you are. A little bit more glue. This glue I got it at Walmart. It's just Crazy Art school glue, and I only paid 44 cents for this big bottle. I mean, you can't beat that. Okay, one more strip and it looks like we'll be done. And again, on this edge, you want some sticking out so that you have something to fold over. Make a pretty little cuff bracelet. Just a very fun craft for kids, and usually you have all the supplies you need. I think everybody has a magazine laying around, or it can be any paper. If you don't have any paper, you could just have them decorate the actual toilet paper roll. But you could use white copy paper and have them draw on it, draw their own designs. You can use junk mail. I mean, there's no end to the paper. And I'm going to just let this dry for a second, and I shall return. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to go ahead and fold down the edges here. Ooh, my glue was heating up a little bit here under this lamp. I have two lamps, and they are hot. So, just going to push down the edges. It can take a little to, you know, get it to want to lay there and stick. I actually love Elmer's rubber cement. That is the best glue in the world. What you do is you would just use it on both sides and let it dry, and then you fold it over, and that stuff sticks. So I'll have to pick up a jar for future crafts. Another thing you can do is when you're gluing something is you can always have some, all of a sudden I can't think of what they're called, clothespins. Clothespins available, and you just put a couple clothespins on and let them hold the glue. You can also, if it's not like a real sticky mess, you can use some paper clips, but those can tend to stick sometimes, so clothespins pretty much work the best. Okay, so we've got that for the most part folded in. Now, had I been using like newsprint, like my lovely Shaw's table protector here, that's not glossy like magazine pages, and the glue really works better. Magazine pages are glossy and they just don't want to suck up the glue. Now you can see I would have needed a little bit more paper here on the corner. How can I show you that? But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the messy corner. And then you can just trim off the edges, or you can fold this down too. And since I'm already sick of gluing, I'm going to just trim it. See how easy that is? Another thing that could have been done is just take some ribbon and embellish the edges. I mean, you can do really anything. Now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to curl it up a little bit like this. And I'm going to stick it in a piece of toilet paper tube like that, just to let it dry in that shape, so it helps make it more cuffed. So I shall return. Oops. Stay. Okay, I let that dry a little bit. You just take it out and you can see that, you know, it helped it stay in the cuff shape. And the last step is just to coat it with glue. You don't have to do that, but if the kids want to do that, it gives them that extra little bit that they can do, and it will let it dry with a nice sheen and harden it up a little bit. For that step, I am going to use a little tray and a paintbrush. I just have some cheapy plastic paint brushes with the plastic tips like you get at the dollar store. Those are really good for glue. And just slobber the glue on there. And it can be thick. It's going to dry clear, so it doesn't matter if it's globby or whatever. And you could also use clear nail polish, or glitter nail polish, or glitter glue, or Mod Podge. And then I'm just going to set this aside to dry. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry. And I'm just going to put this on my handy dandy cookie sheet that I use for crafts. And this is what you end up with. Just a cute little cuff bracelet that is way too small for me, but I will show you. Fits kids' wrists nicely. And this isn't all quite dry yet. There's some little tacky spots. But, you know, it's just a fun craft for kids. And the funnest thing is just having them find different pages of magazines to make different kinds of bracelets. And sometimes, like, you can find a picture in a magazine that's got little flowers, and they can, you know, use that. They can also add stickers to this, or just cut out little pictures in a magazine and glue it on, and then, you know, cover with glue, like a decoupage. And that's it. The kids they're gonna love making these. When I had Skylar here, I had her 4 little cousins over, and all 5 of them just made bracelets like this, and they just had a blast with it. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you make some, if the kids make some, please take some pictures and let me see, and I'll post them. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.